Welcome back to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to report that Ubisoft is finally listening to players, starting with the revolutionary idea of actually putting the game in the game.
Oh, Ubisoft, gosh, this is a pretty classic rake step. Yeah, they've managed to pull off a really impressive trick, releasing a game on PC on Steam without actually including the game.
It's great. Yeah, we're talking about the original version of Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Great game, including the Armageddon's Blade and the Shadow of Death expansions. It finally arrived on Steam recently. Great. That's awesome. Good news. How can they fuck this up? Don't worry, they will.
Well, you know what, Brian? It was great news. Everybody was very, very excited. Everybody said, way to go, Ubisoft. But there's just one problem. The Steam version apparently did not contain Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the literal game.
Yeah, weird little technical whoopsie here. The $10 download was only 23 kilobytes, and attempting to launch it produces a dummy executable error. According to PC Gamer, Ubisoft forgot to include the actual game in the download.
Yeah, and while game files were smaller in the 90s, they weren't 23 kilobytes small. Not surprisingly, actually kind of surprisingly, I checked the Steam listing and had a mixed user review rating. Honestly, pretty high considering that the game did not contain what people paid for.
It's true, actually. It's not mostly negative. Steam user Chaos XTRM wrote, quote, "You will own nothing and you will be happy," at literally nothing.
Yeah, not that you have to give them any credit for this, but Ubisoft did say in an X post this morning that the issue had been resolved. So congratulations, you can finally download the game you paid for. They wrote, quote, "We appreciate the community's patience and reports while we worked on a fix and apologize for any inconvenience caused." A fix? That makes it sound like a small glitch. No. An empty box is something else.
It was funny, and they wrote it in response to the PC Gamer article about it. About that it wasn't. That was the big announcement. But yeah, it's an interesting time for Ubisoft, which is also, very ironically, trying to get players more involved in its development process earlier. I found this, they're opening a new player council program designed to bring us into development well before traditional beta or launch testing.
Oh, okay. Members will be asked to try early concepts, prototypes, and live experiences, while design, user experience, and content direction are still being worked out. The exact structure of the council, how members will be selected, and which projects will use it have not been disclosed.
Great. So, cool idea. Yeah. But the idea, of course, is to give Ubisoft a standing channel for player feedback earlier in the development process, potentially helping teams catch problems ahead of time. They have to listen, though. That's the problem.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, knowing Ubisoft, they'll set it up and it will work just perfectly right off the bat. Meanwhile, they just announced Rainbow Six Tactics, which is a single-player turn-based spin-off of Rainbow Six Siege. It borrows 15 operators from Siege and puts them into mission with objectives like defusing bombs and capturing VIPs and rescuing hostages, so looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, the story takes place between Siege's Year 10 and Year 11 and centers on Commander 6, also known as Paul Bishop from the Rainbow Six Vegas games. Rainbow Six Tactics scheduled to launch next year for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. And you know what, Ubisoft? Hey, weirdly enough, I'm always pulling for Ubisoft. I don't know why at this point. Everybody's always shitting on them. And for some reason, I'm always pulling. Truly, the people that I interact with at Ubisoft are great. And I bet this probably happened because, again, the C-suite executives probably laid off a bunch of people. And then those people that were then having to pick up the slack. And this is what happened. So, again, I'm not going to fault the actual developers, the people that are working at Ubisoft on the ground. I'm going to fault the people that have been laying off thousands at the company.
Yeah, this is 100% what happens when you lay off a bunch of people, because it's like, oh shit, who's responsible for putting the game? Oh yeah, no, they got laid off too. Well, did somebody work in that? No, the whole department got laid off. Fuck, where? And then they look and realize it's on Steam, and they're looking at the mixed review rating, and they're like, oh no.
Yeah, a bunch of panicked emails landing in an deactivated email inbox is probably what this was. Yeah, Bruce, I'm glad you said that, because I feel that in a lot of ways, in 2026 especially, just interacting with a ton of companies, just utter breakdowns in normal process that a human being should have been there for. This is somewhat unrelated. I had to request a refund for something yesterday. I had to go through 3 different AI agents that all recommended me to a different support line before I eventually, 30 minutes in, found an individual human being, solved my problem right away. But getting to that person was impossible. I mean, I don't even think you can talk to a human being on Instagram anymore. There's no support. Even if you pay for it, it doesn't. I don't know. It's a massive frustration of mine. And yeah, you're totally correct. These are the sorts of things that people see and fix. But if you're C-suite, you think if it's a tech company, surely computers do all this stuff, right? Everything's automated. It's just a bunch of conveyor belts that drop games onto a different rack until it hits Steam. And we don't need all these people sucking up all their damn money and being annoying and whining about their desks and the temperature in the offices and how bad the catered lunches are. Get rid of them. And this is what happens. You sell a game that is 23 kilobytes of an empty executable. Although I've had similar frustrations even on Steam. I've bought games that download and don't run. There's been some Call of Duties that are still available to buy through Steam, and they just do not work out of the box. You got to do some Googling and download a random DLL that they just didn't include in the package to get it to run. So there's some stuff on Steam that's also hitting a deprecated status because there's no humans there to make sure that it still works. And even if problems are reported, it's not worth anyone's time to fix.
It is true. I was looking at something where a company was like accepting submission because I write, I like to freelance write, but they made a point to note that a human reads every submission. And I remember thinking like, oh, that's great. And then I remembered it used to be like that all the time. Like they totally took that from us. And it's like, no wonder unemployment's so bad and all this other stuff because all these companies used to have like support departments and customer service and all these with all these jobs, and now they're just gone. And let me tell you, yeah, it's like Lawrence said, a good customer support person can fix your problem like quickly, whereas just fighting with chatbots all day is, I guess, what we're going to do from now until the heat death of everything.
Boy, Brian, I hope you're wrong there because that makes me real sad.
Me too.
That makes me real sad. And the more that I say this, hopefully the more that people understand this. The reason that Lawrence has to fight through chatbots and I just had to fight through chatbots, Brian, we all do. It's money. It's always money. They think they're saving money because they probably are in the short term, but in the long term, we have to make sure we don't support those companies and instead go somewhere else that actually we are able to talk to a human. So hopefully there will be a pendulum swing and there'll be companies that actually have a customer service with humans. That would be great. Thank you very much for watching Inside Games Daily. As always, we very much appreciate your support. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe. Or we have a Patreon. You can do both. You can support us with your hard-earned cash. And Lawrence posts all of our content for free on the Patreon. He posts memes there. And I bet you could talk to a real person, Lawrence, over there on the Patreon if you left a comment or two, because Lawrence usually does talk to people.
Yeah, we've had some patrons send us messages, tip us off on stories. It's great. And everyone on the Patreon is super nice. Great community.
We do not have a chatbot at all maintaining anything here. I look at every comment on the YouTube videos. So there you go. There's no chatbot doing that stuff. So if you want to support us, that's how you do it. Thank you very much for watching Inside Games.
And I reply to every comment that mentions me.
You do. Yeah, that's true.